Dr. King also believed that nonviolence was not a weakness. As a matter of fact, he taught us through his actions that nonviolence means that this is strength under control. He believed justice was not an option. He believed that justice is a moral responsibility. So we can't just sit in our chairs and watch the news and sit in our comfort zones and hear about what's happening in our community that we know is injustice, but it is our moral responsibility to speak up. But let's keep it real. Like y'all say today, let's keep it 100. Dr. King's dream is not fully realized because we know inequality still exists. We know that division is still trying to separate us as a nation. We know that fear is still competing with hope. But the dream is still alive. And I know you're wondering how, when you see the chaos in our country, I know you're wondering how is this dream still alive when you see the confusion in your community. I know you're wondering how can you stand there and say the dream is still alive. Well, I believe the dream is still alive every time someone chooses kindness over cruelty. It's still alive. I believe that Dr. King is still alive every time a community comes together to stand up for what's right. Every time a community comes together to serve, I think it's still alive. And I believe that his dream is still alive when we continue to recognize that in our schools, in our homes, that young people are being taught that their voice matters and that their future is worth fighting for. Dr. King said this: everybody can be great, end quote, because anybody can serve, end quote. So you don't need a microphone. You don't need a title or a platform to keep the dream alive. You just need a willing heart. A willing heart to serve, a willing heart to speak up, a willing heart to help somebody, a willing heart to stand up for what's right and let your voice be heard, a willing heart to treat people with dignity. And certainly, we keep this dream alive by teaching our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren, not just what Dr. King said, not just his awesome quotes, but why he lived the way that he lived. And why was his actions done at such a young age? That part too is important. So in honor of Dr. King, as we celebrate and as we remember, let us go beyond the applause, to action. Let us go beyond knowing his quotes and listening to his speeches to a life of commitment. So as we remember, let us move beyond just remembering and we start taking responsibility for what we see happening around us. Let us start taking responsibility for how we respond. Because the dream was never meant to rest in history. It was meant to walk in the present. It was his dream, but for some of us it has to be our reality. So let us carry this truth with us as we observe Dr. King's birthday and we observe his holiday on tomorrow, that the dream does live. It lives when justice is pursued. It lives when ordinary people choose to do the right thing. It lives when we as a people of God decide to stand up for what's right. The dream lives when we decide to recognize that love leads. So I challenge all of us today, as we remember Dr. King, to let us not be that generation that asks, what was my king's dream? But let us be that generation that answers, here is how we are living his dream. Happy birthday, Dr. King.